Yo.
Gentlemen.
What's up, Raymond?
Billiam. Richard.
Howdy, boys.
How are you? Orange juice spill, huh?
Better now.
Yeah, just trying to stay healthy.
What's in it?
What do you think, motherfucker? Got to work early tonight.
Sipping on gin and juice.
Laid back.
I just heard like a country version of that, and I actually enjoyed it.
Really?
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Is that Tim McGraw?
This one I heard, I don't remember. I have to look it
Didn't
up.
Tim McGraw do the country one with Nelly Ray?
Yeah.
Which one was that?
Aren't you the biggest Nelly fan on the planet?
I
The
enjoyed Nelly.
Gourds is the one I'm talking about. It's like country. They're called the Gourds.
Oh.
I don't know what that is. I
Someone
just remember
said,
Tim McGraw.
someone sent it to me, but yeah, he did that stupid one with Nelly.
Yeah.
And then another one did one with Justin Timberlake too. I forget his name. Ooh, I like the
Oh.
red wine.
I only like Nelly with country grammar. After that,
The Air Force Ones was a banger.
Air Force Ones was a banger.
Pimp
'Cause we all-
juice?
Pimp Juice was
Juice.
good. You could shake your tail feather when fucking Bad Boys 2 came out.
With P. Diddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The second one, what was the second one? Nellyville? That one was okay. It was all right.
Yeah, the first two were not bad. Then he came out with that double one, and it was just
Bad.
complete trash.
No.
Not good. Not
But dude,
good.
Air
Down-
Force One's a fucking jam.
Speaking of Nelly, did anyone see the kicker for shit? Who was it? He had the one thing under his eye, one eye black, just
No, I
one,
did not.
just like Nelly. And I did everything in my power to get a screenshot and tweet. When did this guy sign? Was it the Jets? I forget who it was. Maybe it was Buffalo. Maybe it was
I
the
missed
Monday
it.
night game. Yeah, he had one eye black under his eye, and all I could think of all night from there was Nelly.
I didn't watch much of that game last night, so I must have missed that because oof.
Yeah, no, you probably did. I didn't miss a beat because I figure it's hopefully the last time we see Cam Newton in a Patriots jersey. So I watched it all the way to the bitter end.
Nope. Week 17, baby. Come on.
You're probably right.
I know I'm right.
week 1 of next year too, I bet.
Fuck
Yeah,
you, Bill.
fuck you,
Fuck
Bill.
you, Bill.
Speaking of fuck you, Bill, can allow me to, before we start the show, get into the email of the day if I
Ooh,
can.
I heard it was a doozy.
It's not bad. To start off, I thought we were going into dark places. Thought we were going to have to.
I texted that to Rich. I'm like, I didn't know where he was going with this. But then he kept reading, and then I giggled.
I thought we were going to have to call up Queens Landing security for you, but it turned out okay. Okay, from emailer of the day, Raymond D. Langevin. Bill, you pre-ejaculating needle dick motherfucker. You have to keep poking the bear. Poke, poke, poke. Well, you woke the bear. Are you looking to lose that beautiful young lady that you're seeing? Question mark. Completely changes topic. So I was thinking, period. If you made that stupid bet with the guys, then your next early lines, you should be making all the picks first, then Rich, next, then Raymond. That way, you two are not copying Ray's picks. So that way, you can lose and we can hear those tapes that you don't want us to hear. Didn't sign off.
Ooh,
He was angry.
mic drop.
He didn't have time. Was there a heading to that too, or no?
Nope.
Nope. All right.
The heading was, Bill, you pre-ejaculating needle dick motherfucker.
Sounds about
Never
right.
pre-ejaculated in my life.
I doubt it. I'm sure we could poll some Tinder whores and get a different story.
Rich, it might be a late night, but I will go to the corners of Manchester to ask all the ladies of the night, see if this is true.
Bring your ledger and your box of crayons.
Draw pictures of each one.
Yeah. Ma'am, I'm going to need you to sign the bottom of this. Which color do you prefer?
Rich, raise the Charlie Kelly of our show.
I don't know what that
That's
means.
saying a lot. That is saying
Rich
a lot.
does. Rich does.
I don't know what's worse, Dennis or Mac, but you're Mac.
Ooh, Mac just got diabetes in the episode I just watched. And he was eating chimichangas, stabbing himself with fucking insulin. Oh, God, that season is so fucking good. So good.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, welcome to the Simple Mind Sports Show, Wednesday edition, December 30th. Happy New Year, boys. Happy New Year. This will be the last show before New Year's, right?
No, we had the early lines
lines.
coming on Thursday.
Well, I mean, yeah. Last night
Yeah.
we'll record.
Yep.
I'll see you guys again in 2021.
Well, we could do a show still if you'd like, but it's up to you, Rich.
Oh, right. Bill has
has-
Wait,
already
New Year's? No.
Bill's already
New Year's Eve?
banged
No.
in.
Can we get a holiday schedule for you next year, Bill? So we just know what holidays we can't record around.
4th of July, Memorial Day,
Yeah, you
New
start
Year's, St.
you-
Patrick's Day,
Martin Luther King Day.
you
Martin
start
Luther King
accruing January 1, so you
Yeah.
just got to make sure it
Day,
all
Super
adds up.
Bowl.
Yeah, we're only a sports show. Why the fuck would we do the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Speaking of Super Bowl, who's not going to be there this year, next year, probably in many years
me.
to come? Raymond?
The New England Patriots.
That is correct. We don't have to get too much into this game. It was a shit show. Patriots didn't come to play. Their defense quit in the second quarter. Cam Newton benched with 8 minutes left to go in the third quarter, down 38-9 or 32-9 at that point, whatever it was. I don't know. The biggest thing I want to get from you guys, Bill, if you didn't see this, if you went to bed, you old bitch, then maybe Ray and I can talk about it. But all of the backlash here from the quarterback position is how, well, Stidham, that could be his new nickname. That might have just deemed something. Stidham sucks. We know that he sucks now because we got to see him in this game for what amounted to be less than a quarter in terms of snaps that he got. And I don't understand why the fuck people are saying that. Look, he didn't look great. He had essentially the same stat line as Cam in a half of the amount of time that
34 yards.
44 yards.
Oh,
11
Cam threw for 34.
4 for 11.
I know. Stidham threw for 44. And he threw, and he looked sped up. He looked like a young quarterback in a game that was, that the Patriots had no business being in. I don't get the rhetoric coming out of Patriots camp that Jarrett Stidham was deemed dead last night. Ray, are you in that camp that you're out on Stidham because of what you saw last night?
I'm out on both him and Cam Newton after this. Give me Brian Hoyer week 17. These two don't deserve to be in the quarterback room next year. I want them to start fresh next year. Brian Hoyer, just keep on the roster just because he knows the playbook. But Stidham's first throw, I believe, was to the feet of their receiver. So what is he any better than Cam Newton going forward? No.
Yes.
No.
If you watch the fucking game, the first throw that he made was at the foot of a receiver. From then on out, he was making passes. Look, all of the problems that are there that the Cam fans have been making excuses for are still there. However, when you look at Jarrett Stidham throw the ball, it looks like he can throw the fucking ball. And the balls that he were throwing that are incomplete, he had one at the feet and he had another bad accuracy pass. The other ones were deflected and the guys were covered up, but at least he was throwing him the fucking ball. He walked into a massacre. He walked into an absolute massacre on Monday Night Football. He has yet to get a full week of first-team reps. He has yet to start a game in the NFL. He has yet to play defense from the first quarter. He walks into these shit shows with the rest of the half of his team has already fucking quit, and he's expected to go out there and look like the next heir apparent. I don't understand the fucking rhetoric. I'm not saying that he's good. I'm not saying that he's great. There's clearly a reason he hasn't played this year, whatever that is. He probably doesn't have what it takes. But what I saw last night's not going to determine that. What I saw last night looked like a guy who throw the fucking football with a shoulder that works versus a guy in Cam Newton that just physically can't throw the fucking ball anymore. So, take from that what you want. Stidham, can he read a defense? I don't know. I don't know any of that. But none of it was solved for me last night. Fucking throw him out there in week 17 and let him play a full game for the love of God.
Yeah, and I've mentioned it before too. Is this you can't throw a quarterback in, especially basically a rookie quarterback in a blowout. You're losing these games where you're forcing them to throw, and they're just bringing the house. Especially when you have nobody at the skills position, right? So I would feel a little better, or if the Patriots had better weapons around them, because the weapons they have are terrible. Right, so you're throwing them out there with fucking Jameer Byrd, who literally dropped a touchdown pass. Jacoby Myers, I think, is a number 3-4 wide receiver at best on a good team, and then N'Keal Harry is N'Keal Harry, right?
Oh.
So and then you have zero production out of your tight end. They have 16 catches all year. So I mean, you're already throwing him into a shit situation as it is, and then throwing him into a fucking blowout game. You can't get any good things on tape from him. Let him start week 17. That's the only way you're going to see it. You're out of the playoffs. You're 6-9, right?
Nice.
So I mean, give him a fucking chance. You got to let him. You got to let him start.
Yeah,
You got to let him start. But one more thing.
Sorry, go ahead, Bill.
I think Bill's fucking tied to Cam. That's why I think we've mentioned it before. Couple of us on here feel like he's coming back, and the reason they're kind of sticking to him is I think that's the reason. I guarantee Bill's going to come out later and say they didn't value anybody in the fucking draft, and he was the best option because he's been in the system. That I think you're going to hear a lot of that come out after the draft when they don't draft a quarterback and they trade out of the first round.
Well, all right. Well, let's get to that. Let me try and gather my train of thoughts. Last thing I was going to say on Jarrett Stidham. Oh,
sorry, no, it was a little off topic, but
no, you're good. Week 17 versus the Jets. Everyone has been deeming kind of as a bullshit, no, not worth anything. Look, the Jets are going to come to play that game. The Jets have come to play the last 3 or 4 weeks. You're going to see, at least for the first half, depending on the way the game flow goes, you're going to see what the Jets have. They're not going to walk in there and throw it away. They haven't. If they were, they would have done it the last 2 weeks, and they haven't. They've got a fucking winning streak. You might lose to the Jets if you try. That their roster's better than yours, and they're playing better than you. So, starting Jarrett Stidham in Week 17, I think you'll be able to see a little bit something. But I'm with you. They're not gonna. Cam's gonna start. He's gonna get a chance to get a win, and it's gonna hurt them. I don't know if I put this in here, but we can jump to it real quickly just in terms of the draft position because you mentioned it, Bill. They're currently at 14th. I believe they have a chance to get to 12th as the highest, and that'll take Falcons. Eagles and Panthers winning or losing. Eagles and Panthers losing and the Patriots losing. You can jump to 12th, I think, something like that. So, look. 12th to 15th, I don't know if that's a big difference. If you win, maybe you bump up to 16th or something, whatever the deal is. I'm kind of on the just fucking lose at this point. Throw Cam Newton out there and lose. Because, the difference between 12 and 16, you might be able to package some shit and move into top 10 and go identify a QB and get them. That might be a move. I know that they normally trade back, like you said, Bill, but if you're that high up, we've seen it with Gerard Mayo. We've seen it before in those.
They moved down from Mayo though, so they were at number 5 or 6 in the.
I think they're at 7 and they went to 10.
Yeah, it was the Joe Staley trade with the Niners. Then they backed up with New Orleans because New Orleans traded up.
So the greater point here is when you're in the top 10, you got players that you can go get.
Yeah, but you've mentioned it before. I would probably see another defensive guy there. I mean, he hits on those. He in the top of the draft. His track record is money.
I get that. I don't want to talk about defensive guys right now. I want to talk about quarterback because that's what this team. There's nothing that's going to happen until that is made. So if I saying this in the email, if Jarrett Stidham does suck this bad to the point where Bill would not play him all season. Does that make you actually feel better about the quarterback situation going into next year? Raymond, who wants to clear out the quarterback room?
Yeah, clear out the roster. Have Brian Hoyer go draft your next heir apparent and then go get a veteran guy like Bill's been saying, Stafford, a Matt Ryan, a Jimmy G. Go get one of those bridge guys and just do what you should have done with Jimmy G. Have this guy be your bridge guy. Get this guy up to speed, the rookie, and then that's your guy. That's your next guy. But you have to go get your next guy in this draft.
Bill, if Jarrett Stidham actually sucks, Belichick knows that he sucks. Is that better going into this offseason?
No, because there's too many question marks. I mean, this is the guy you drafted in the 4th round last year. You kind of had hopes of him into the offseason being the guy. You signed Cam Newton, June 29th, 28th, somewhere around there. So, I mean, you up until that point, you're probably looking at him starting. So, I mean, you had a lot of hopes. I get it. It was a bridge year, but I think you needed him to hit on this or be more competent than what we've seen. He needs to be more competent than Cam Newton, and at this point right now, he's not. And that's a problem. I get it. You want to clear out the room, but you can't bank on Matt Ryan getting traded. You can't bank on Jimmy G getting traded. And you sure as shit can't bank on Matthew Stafford being traded because he's the face of those. Those guys are all faces of franchises. So you can't bank on that. And the quarterback market next year is trash. So I mean, you're in a shit situation, especially when the top 4 guys in the draft probably go in the top 10 picks, which you're outside of the top 10 picks. It's a bad move going into the next season. That's why Cam's coming back. That's why you can see it right now. That's why he's coming back.
Yeah, it's bad news if Jarrett Stidham sucks, and it goes to the point of why isn't he playing in NFL games to really determine that he sucks? I'm kind of tired of the narrative that Bill has seen enough at practice. Then why is he number 2 in the depth chart?
This team would be 8-8 with Brian Hoyer.
Why is Brian Hoyer a healthy scratch if Jarrett Stidham is that bad? And
Yeah,
Cam Newton is one bad hit away. No, it's something nefarious between Belichick and Cam Newton. And all of those things that I said at the top and what you just said, Bill, we don't know anything. We don't know about Jarrett Stidham. And frankly, Belichick doesn't now. And if this is not the year that you can question Belichick and everything about him and talent evaluation, then what is? So, Belichick's seen enough at practice? Bullshit. Jarrett Stidham's not running the Patriots offense at practice. He's running the fucking scout team offense. So the whole thing is still a quandary to me. Nothing from Monday night, again, in that blowout says anything for me. And if Jarrett Stidham is determined to suck by the Patriots organization after never starting a game for them, that is piss poor fucking asset management through and through at the quarterback position, and get ready for Cam 2.0 in 2021 because it's fucking happening.
Just one last thing, too. It makes you wonder going back to last year when they picked up Cody Kessler mid-season, and Josh McDaniels and Bill's excuse was they didn't want to have Stidham. They wanted him to learn and not have to run the scout team. So I think going there, you kind of had a feeling that they valued him and you thought he would be a good addition going forward. And maybe the reason Brady was walked because they thought they had something there, and then June hit and Cam Newton signed, and that was it. So I mean,
Ray, sorry to interrupt. Ray, is there a good chance that that Stidham made Billy just a little bit angry and he got on his bad side, and now he doesn't want to fucking coach him anymore?
Mm-hmm. Going to those weddings. Those summer weddings in Texas, that's probably what pissed him off the most. You're supposed to be the new leader of this team, and you're going off with your wife going to all these weddings. That probably pissed Bill off the most.
Don't forget, he didn't look good in training camp either, though. And then he got hurt.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you're a year.
Oh, the hip. Yeah, I forgot all about the hip.
You're an entire season into this, and Cam Newton has thrown for 34, 84, 109, and 69.
Nice.
Come on. Like it's the bottom 3 quarterback. He's reading the email. It's the bottom 3 quarterback situation in the league, and and any organization in the NFL, in any professional sports league, would have benched Cam Newton at this point to see what else they have to try and be competitive. Because up until 2 weeks ago, you still had a chance at the playoffs. You still had a chance at the playoffs, and everybody without a brain knew it was not going to happen with Cam Newton. So that question will always be there. Why did he play so long? I guarantee Cam Newton starts in Week 17, and hopefully the Jets fucking demolish us. We go get the 12th pick and, lightning strikes because arrows pointing down on the Patriots.
Maybe a Bledsoe scenario with Cam Newton against the Jets. Another 21-year anniversary. Get a bruised sternum, knock him out. Never play again? No, boys? No, nothing? All right.
Well,
fine.
Drew Bledsoe did play again. He went and set records for the fucking Bills. So I don't understand
hopefully
your analogy.
Yeah, he was a Pro Bowl player after New England.
That's just hate coming through for both Bledsoe and
some respect
Cam
on
put some respect on 11's fucking name, you asshole.
The true number 11.
Speaking of arrows pointing down, Bill, your boy J.C. Jackson is not a number 1. That was determined last night.
He quit on that Diggs 50-yard touchdown. He quit. Yep, he's out, and I think the Patriots know it. I think if they valued him as much as we hoped that they did, they would have probably offered him some more money. I get it; he's going to be a restricted free agent next year, but this is the time to sign him now. I'm reading reports that they're going to just place a second-round tender on him. That's guy like that would be good as gone because he'll get overpaid for a second. He'll get overpaid. He's got 8 interceptions. Should have had 9 if it wasn't Adam Butler jumps off sides, back-to-back fucking plays. And that ends a drive right there. So, I mean, that's 9 picks. You're top 2 in the league in interceptions. Should have been a Pro Bowl player.
They're not going to go into next season without Gilmore or J.C. Jackson.
I think, well, you're going to see Gilmore back. And again, I think the Athletic had it this week in their predictions for 2021. He's coming back.
Kind of has to now.
He has to, especially You
is he the most
defensive player of the year off the court, the field. I get it. I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but you're seeing what it is now because Jackson's the number 2, and rightfully so. He's great with Gilmore there, but You're seeing
He's
it.
not
now.
number one.
Throwing up him.
He lacks the discipline. He's the same as Malcolm Butler. These undrafted guys
Mhm.
have the athleticism, drive, heart, everything like that, but you lack that extra bit of awareness, game intelligence, feel for the game, whatever it is that makes
They're
Stephon
not
Gilmore a
the
number one.
guy.
Yeah, that separates everybody and everything for sports, right? You have that you get it. You see things before they happen. J.C. Jackson is a number two. I expect them both back here. Ray, is Stephon Gilmore now the most important in-house free agent for them to bring back?
I believe so. Because who would be, Bill? Who would
David
you have?
Andrews.
I disagree. It's Stephon Gilmore. It's
Doesn't-
1,000% Stephon.
Yeah.
I get the importance of David Andrews, and I understand his leadership. and
Well,
what he takes.
technically, Gilmore's not a free agent. He's $7.5 million next year.
Okay,
so.
but you understand what I'm saying. He's
No, I
not
know
going
what
to play
you're
for
saying.
$7.5 million. David Andrews is not going to play for what he's playing for either if they have to sign him long term. David Andrews is a center. Centers can be replaced. They replaced him last year. They replaced him every fucking year. Stephon Gilmore is the number one quarter in the league. Yeah, an overrated, not the defensive player of the year, but we saw what this defense looks like with him, and we saw what it looks like without him. He is the guy. You have to now bring him back, especially in a rebuilding team. You are now in the position of every other fucking NFL franchise in the league. Congratulations, Bill Belichick. You fucked it up. You fucked it up. Pay that man his monies.
It's amazing coming from the biggest Gilmore hater on this
Yeah,
show that
that's-
you're
No.
you're pining to get him
Let's
back.
take a book. Let's take a page
No.
right out of Thugger and Maz's book. Overrated does not mean suck. You guys have been banging on this dude all year long just as much as I did. I just had the fucking foresight to tell you that he was overrated at the
When he
beginning
came
of the
back
year.
from his knee
He's
injury
not the
this year, he's a
defensive
stud.
player of the year. He's not. He wasn't last year. He shouldn't have been. That was an inflated defense. Bill, you called it the best defense of all time.
Most overrated defense.
Stephon Gilmore was the head of that. That's why he's overrated. Doesn't suck. He's a number one quarterback in the league. Probably shouldn't get whatever his money he's going to get. Maybe he won't now because he has a blown quad. But he's clearly, regardless of how good he is, he's the key to this Patriots defense. And they're going 10 steps backward next year without him. So that's where I stand. So fuck you and that hater talk, idiot. Lewis. Sorry, baby. I didn't
Fuck
mean
you,
that.
Ray.
I'm sorry, baby.
Do you think Bill's texting his Tinder whores and saying Ray's on his way to get
Well,
the list? He's very in tune to his fucking phone. I think
I'm
he's
reading. God,
Yeah.
can I fucking read the email?
He's like,
Jesus.
hey, ladies, eyes up for a roly-poly and crayons coming through tonight.
he may or may not have a Bruin and crayons.
Oh, watch out for Dayman coming through.
Night, man. All right, let's stick in the Patriots here. I got a couple of things. So Lewis Reddick. By the way, I don't know if we've ever mentioned this on the show. As an aside, that Monday Night Football crew fucking stinks.
Oh, they're
they're
terrible.
the worst.
Oh,
The worst.
Steve Levy. How many names can you butcher? How slow
them.
are you on the play call?
All
Oh
of them.
my God.
It goes back to what was that Monday night game where it was like Cam hasn't rushed tonight. He had a 15-yard fucking rushing touchdown.
Yeah.
Cam hasn't rushed tonight, and then someone was in his ear like, "Dude, he ran for a fucking touchdown, you moron."
Yeah. That's all. Yeah, y'all.
I like
yeah.
Lewis Riddick though. I know.
I think he has good insight. I don't think he's a good on-air guy. I think he's
No.
He's gonna
I
be
think
a
he's great
GM.
in studio, on the shows, like in breaking stuff down. But he's kind of a bore to listen to live.
Yeah.
He's gonna get the Houston job. He'll be GM in Houston. He
Whatever it
always-
is. Look,
yeah.
look. So by the way, sorry. Lewis Reddick was very heavy multiple times saying that. And speaking with Belichick, and those two apparently are tight. They have a
Well,
actually-
Riddick played for him in Cleveland.
They have okay. So they have a relationship there. Belichick is fired up and looking forward and pressing to the offseason. I ask you,
So aren't we?
does that give you
Oh,
hope,
shit.
Ray? Does that give you hope that Belichick is reinvested and will not be making free agent calls from Mar-a-Lago or wherever the fuck he is with Trump?
I don't know, man. This is it. Like they're saying today on the radio, if you have another season like this, another 6-9, 7-10 season, because they're going. I'm sorry,
Nope.
they're going to 17 games next year. They're going to 17 games next year.
Good save, but that's not where you started.
That's where I was going. That's where I was going.
6-9.
Yeah. Attaboy. Atta baby.
Pause. Long day, boys. Sorry. Anyways, yeah, if you have another season like that, Bill's probably on his way out.
Stupid. No, he's
What? Damn it! This is gonna be the video. Fucking A.
Yeah. Why did you timestamp this,
Bill's
you
on his way
dumbass?
out. Oh my God, 6:56.
The timestamp doesn't matter.
6-9, 7-10.
Yeah. You
I
know,
don't do math good.
I don't do anything good.
I
Sorry.
don't talk that good. Let me get my maroon crayon and do the adding. Bill loves it.
Ugh.
No, Belichick's not out after next year. He's got 2 more years in him. If it's another year where, like I said in the last show, if they went 6-10 with Jarrett Stidham and it looked like they had promise moving forward, then it would be one thing. The idea of, defying logic with Cam Newton, allowing him to throw for 34 yards in 3 quarters and not make a change, not even talk about it, like not make adjustments. Like the things that are wrong with this team are stemming from coaching and GM work. It's all Bill. It's all Bill. And the conspiracy theory shot out there that Cam Newton is a scapegoat is looking more and more right every fucking day, because Cam Newton is catching all this heat. And you saw a tiny crack in the armor last night in that press conference. You saw a tiny crack in the armor. The first time he ever really got benched, he kind of wanted to say something, but he didn't. And so, yeah, he's not done next year, but a couple 7-10 seasons or whatever, sure. Three in a row. I guess so. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe he gets the Brady treatment and he's allowed to do whatever the fuck he wants the rest of his life. I doubt it, but maybe. Bill, are you in the camp that Belichick is going to make the moves, do the right things, and this offseason is going to be something that we can look forward to? Are they a quarterback and a tight end away from being a playoff team, and can Bill do it?
Yeah, I think he could definitely do it. I mean, if you look back to his last losing season, 2000, you're in cap jail then. They are a lot of times they carried just 50, 52 guys on the roster to save cap space. They cut a shit ton of guys. They couldn't get a lot of guys to play for them, a lot of guys to restructure deals, and I think they had 23 to 30 undrafted free agents in the draft. So if you kind of compare the 2 seasons and then look what happened the next year, they were out of cap jail. They fucking signed 25 guys, free agents, and won a Super Bowl. I'm not saying they're going to win a Super Bowl, but yeah, tight end, quarterback away. Yeah, they've been moving Hunter Henry. Bill's infatuated with him. He's the number 1 tight end on the market. Don't be surprised if you start going after him. I mean, I don't think Cam was that terrible last night in the first quarter and a half. He was moving that offense. You were gashing Buffalo on the run game. So I think if he can maybe get healthier going into the offseason, you could survive. It's hard to upgrade the quarterback position, but yeah, quarterback, tight end,
Fucking
you need another deep defensive line. And
I'm
you're
kind of the same way,
team.
though. Are you 8-8? Are you 8-8 with Brian Hoyer?
Absolutely, because I think if you go back to the first half of that KC game, that's the best offenses look all year.
The offense looked cohesive.
It looked
Seattle.
like Seattle, but late in the second half, there was a kind of a different offense with Cam. But like Brian Hoyer moved that team. He could make the throws. Again, there's nobody around him to be a successful quarterback. Brace Art, he bailed. Jameer Byrd, Julian Edelman was a shell of himself. Jacoby Myers and fucking N'Keal Harry.
So the greater point here, just looking into the offseason, I'm kind of with you on the fact, like quarterback is obviously the biggest question mark. If you land a Garoppolo at Stafford, I'm out with Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan has lost the Atlanta Falcons more fucking games than
I'd be okay with Matt Ryan if they run the ball like this, though.
He's 30. It doesn't. I think that he's got loser all over him. Whatever. That's another story for another day.
Yeah.
If you go grab one of these guys, you're a playoff team. Especially if they stick with the 7 teams, you're 1,000% a playoff team. The Bills look legit. Josh Allen looks like he's made that step. My Bills. I've been saying Josh Allen still has the yips all year. I think those are gone. We'll see when he gets in the playoffs. The playoffs is a different animal.
Spotlight's on him. Yeah,
it's a different test
43
for sure.
Total touchdowns this year, 9 picks.
But the way that he was, I mean, it's not saying anything against the Patriots defense because they quit. But the way that he was identifying, carving it up, making decisions. He looks legit, man. I mean, he looks legit. So that's going to be a force you're going to have to reckon with. But yeah, you go get a legitimate tight end. You get a couple retread veteran wide receivers that know what they're doing for decent money. I'm not saying you got to go spend and trade for Odell Beckham Jr., but
please no.
Kenny Galladay, get decent money. He's out there. Marvin Jones. Some of these guys that are maybe technically on the back end of their career but know how to play and get open. That's the bread and butter for the Patriots. It's just a quarterback position. You just got to go find somebody. If they walk into the season with Cam next year, you have another 6-9 or 7-10 season, as Ray would do it. So, I don't know. I guess we'll see. We'll see if Bill hops on his boat down to Mar-a-Lago or not, and we'll see how invested he actually is. Ray, this one's for you. Dwayne Haskins.
What an idiot.
Dwayne Haskins. Is this another oh shit, we're running out of time, boys. Is this another Josh Gordon situation? Does he have like a legitimate problem that we can't make fun of? Because that is fucking bananas. Walks out of never did press conference. No one knew where he went. It was absolutely
Getting
MIA.
paged, called, and all that shit. yeah.
Obviously, we're assuming that he went to the strip club because he got in trouble for that the week before.
Mhm.
And then it wasn't found that he was at the strip club. Regardless, the next day, Monday, he was
Maskless
cut
party. That's all they said.
Cut.
Is that maskless party.
by the Washington football team, a former first-round pick. What was that, 2 years ago?
Yeah, last year. This is year 2. They cut him
Right.
before it was end of year 2.
Another
Incredible.
Dan Snyder pick, by the way. So any of you Washington football fans out there like Ray, hope to God that they, they blackmail that guy out of town. But
Yeah.
anything to say on the Dwayne Haskins update?
Nope. If you're from Ohio State, you play quarterback, you're never going to make it in this league. And if you like titties and fried chicken and the all-you-can-eat buffet at a strip club, then you, sir, will not make it in this league either.
I bet there's some athletes in the NFL that would disagree with that second thing. But, yeah, the Ohio
Pac-Man
State
Jones
thing's pretty
would
true.
disagree with that, and he made it
He's
very
definitely in
successful.
jail right now, though, isn't he?
Yeah, but he still made a very successful long career in the NFL with all his shenanigans. So
Unbelievable, yeah. All right, we got to move quick here. We got basketball and we got baseball, and we got a tiny bit of hockey news, and we got not a lot of time to do it. So let's move fast, all right? Celtics news and notes. Tatum and the ISO ball continues to fail. A 30-footer to fade away and lose the game against Indiana. They're playing Indiana tonight as we record. We'll see how that goes. Ray, your take on Tatum, ISO ball, losing that game.
Like I said, the other game winner against Milwaukee was a prayer. This was another prayer that he just hucked up, and this one did not go in. But yeah, the ISO ball, it's not his thing. Let's start facilitating a little bit more. Let's start driving a little bit better. Let's see what happens tonight against Indiana. It's a bounce back game, but we have to stay above 500 in this little stretch here.
It's not hard as a basketball player to get the ball not 30 feet away from the basket.
Mhm.
It's not hard. And he has a turnaround jumper and is tall and silky smooth on a fadeaway. That's his shot. Just get 17 feet away. You're down by 1. But a 22 budding star.
Budding
that shit will
superstar,
happen. Bill, your boy, Time Lord, really nice game. Really nice game for him. Completely fucked up the end of it and allowed the Indiana Pacers to get a layup and one layup to lose the game. Why the fuck was he in there? And Tristan Thompson, the guy you just signed to be in that exact position, was not there. Are we mad at Time Lord or are we mad at Brad?
Brad.
Both.
Brad.
Both.
No, dude, you're supposed to be a fucking, an NBA coach. Tristan Thompson is the guy you signed for this exact reason. He should be in the fucking game. He's your best defensive forward in the fucking game. And you have him on the bench in a situation like that? I don't know. I think when you're up in that situation, play your best defense. You didn't.
I'll give you a caveat. That was a little bit of a trick question. Robert Williams had a great game. He played a lot of the game. It's the third game of the season. If you're not going to let Robert Williams fail there, then when are you going to? I'll give Brad Stevens that benefit of the doubt. If it was game 3 of the Eastern Division, Tristan Thompson will be in that game. If it's March, Tristan Thompson then in that game. We're in December. It's the third game of the year. Robert Williams is playing well. Here's your chance to fail. You did. Congratulations. You'll probably see 11 minutes tonight. And that's how young players do it. And this is a young team. Get used to it. These are the game. This is going to be all season long. All season long. Do you guys like these mini series? Brad Stevens came out and he said, I like the fact that we're playing the same team, kind of like baseball, stay in the city, do 2 games. I like it. I think it's great. I don't know why they haven't done it before this. Raymond?
Yeah, I like it. Something different. At least you get to see better competition. You're going to be matched up against, so you can fix your things, and it's better TV, because you actually know what's going to happen in the second game. So like tonight against Indiana, they kind of know what their matchup is. They know who their stars to focus in on. So it's going to be a better matchup. I think it'll be better TV ratings too, because you're actually going to see better product on the court.
I agree. I think it's better basketball. It's more. Yeah. It can be geared toward more playoff basketball. You can make adjustments overnight, come back and play, see what it looks like. I like it. Hopefully they stick to it. And I don't put it past the NBA. I think the NBA will do anything that basically the players, coaches, or fans want them to do, especially if it makes sense.
If it works. I mean, hockey does it. They do home and homes. back-to-back nights. I love it. I've always been a big fan of that for basically the same reasons. Give them a little series, and it gets away. It limits your travel.
Right. You don't think the owners? You don't think the owners are on board cutting down on jet fuel and whatever?
It limits your travel. Just have them come in for 2 games. You only play these teams 4 games a year, Indiana. So you 2 home, 2 fucking mini series like that. Boom, lessens your travel all year. Do it. In a Lakers Celtics, you only play them twice a year. Do it.
Yeah,
let's go.
Yeah, I like it. They can adjust the schedule. You don't have to. Maybe just don't play everybody every year. We'll see. NBA news and notes. Spencer Dinwiddie did whittle out for the season. ACL. Does that affect the Nets and everything we talked about against the Celtics? He was a key piece. He was their 6th man. He was, and pretty much all-star caliber, 20-point, player last year. 2 questions. Does it affect the Nets on the court negatively? Does it affect the Nets off the court positively because it's one less guy to get pissed off at Kyrie?
Ooh, that's a great one. Yes. Yes, that's a good one.
It's one less guy that wants minutes and shine.
Yeah, that's a great point. I never thought of that. But yeah, it definitely affects him on the court because, like you said, he was a all-star last year, scoring 20-plus points. Now you're losing that off the bench, so yeah, you have to replace him with someone. Who are you going to replace him with? So yeah, this is going to be a problem, especially when Kyrie and KD need those load management games. Who's going to step in for him?
Karis LeVert and his 50-plus. All right, Bill. MLB hot stove. Your Padres, Bill's new favorite team. They're not from Arizona, but it's a short plane ride away. San Diego. San Diego Padres are all in. Trade for Blake Snell. Trade for Yu Darvish. They sign a Ha-Sung Kim infielder. Should they be considered a World Series favorite? And Billy Baseball, this is your time to give us your soliloquy on all the Padres moves. And they never gave up their top 2 prospects, even in that second deal, right?
Nope.
Yu Darvish isn't calling for that, right?
No, he's a little overpaid at this point. Yeah, you're going all in. I love the Blake Snell deal as much as he's a fucking cunt in the MLB, but he's still a stud pitcher. He's AL Cy Young 2 years ago. They're good. They're going all in. They're probably the number 2 team in the NL. It really kind of depends on what the Yankees are going to do. I think Tampa took a step back. Astros is still in play, whatever they do, but they're probably the number 3 team in baseball right now. Lamont, who's another young ace they got over there. He's coming off an injury the last year, or the year before, I should say, but he pitched very well for them. They still had Davis over there from Milwaukee that came there. So, they just shored up their staff. They lost Clevenger, but, their offense is disgusting. And Kim's going to slide in right at second base. So, you probably have the best infield in all of baseball with, Tatis Jr., now Kim, if he lives up to projections, and Machado. So, this team's they're going places. So,
Can I just say something real quick? Padres old school jerseys that they wore last year. Sexiest awesome. Baseball jersey.
They're money. They're fucking money.
So based on the Padres history, they're stacked. They're absolutely stacked. They made a play and they're doing it well. Can they sustain success? So small markets in baseball can't do this for very long. I think of the Brewers. I think of the Royals. 3 years, 4 years, maybe they make a run. The Royals got a World Series out of it. The Brewers haven't in a very long time, right? George Brett. Maybe?
The Rays just did it. The Rays just did it. Now they're selling everyone.
The Rays do it, yeah, but it took them a long time. It took them many cracks at it. Are the Padres in the same boat? I know a lot of their talent's young and cost affordable, but I don't know. I asked the question, is this a 3-year flash in the pan? They got to win the next 3?
Oh, yeah.
They're a little different than KC because they've actually spent money. They spent $300 million on Machado. They signed Eric Hosmer to, I think, a $180 million deal. So if you look at KC, they did it with a lot of young guys. They added some cheap veterans, throughout those runs, but it was basically a lot of homegrown talent. So you got a couple great homegrown talents there, but they've also spent big money in free agency, and they're using their draft pieces now to go get studs. Like, I'm not Darvish, but Clevenger was a stud. Now you get Blake Snell. So, I think their mold's a little different, and these guys are still cost friendly. So, yeah, 3, 4, 5 years. That's probably their window. But
so, yeah, we're running out of time. Sorry, but yeah, I'm in the maybe 3, 4, maybe extends to 5 years. But it's a small market team in baseball. The history says that they're not going to be able to sustain it. They're not going to be up against the Dodgers in 2026. Put it that way. Real quickly, this is going to end, but Hoffman signs a practice deal with the Blues. The Bruins have interest on Ben Hutton coming in as a left shot defenseman. after letting Mike Hoffman sign a practice deal with the Blues.
He's got a wink deal waiting for him after the tryout deal with St. Louis. He's going to sign there. It's pretty much a done deal. But yeah, again, Hutton's a cheap young defenseman. I think he's got 5-6 years in the league. Good two-way player. You know, he really excelled in Vancouver more than he did this 1 year run in the Kings. But he was good for them on a bad team last year. Should cost you roughly about $2 million. You know, that still keeps you under. They have about 3.6, I believe, 3.5 in cap space. So it keeps you in play there with a little bit of wiggle room later on. Especially the guys you're going to call up, they're going to eat a little bit of cap, especially if they play. So
they're throwing some shit against the wall at that left shot defenseman, huh?
Yeah, Chara looks every day like he's not back, and there's been a lot of talk that he might not want to play anyways because of just the back-to-backs, and you know you're playing 56 games in 104 days. You're 43 years old.
Yeah,
so, I mean, there's some talk there too. So
here's the wink. Chara, sit down. Let us figure this out with the young kids. Let us determine who we think who's going to be around and someone we can rely on, and let us give you a call in a few months. That's the wink. That's the wink for Chara. Why not? Why not Roger Clemens the fucking thing?
Even
just hang out and wait.
Didn't the Patriots do a Seo?
Yeah,
you know, all these old guys. Yeah, I could see that.
So I hope that happens. I've been on board. The presence of Chara, what he means, just the story. I don't want to see him go retire in some other fucking jersey. I want to see him retire with the C on his chest, and then
especially they're gonna retire.
Hand it over. Yeah, I'm gonna retire his jersey. Hand it over to Bergie. Have the whole fucking ceremony. Bruins aren't winning the world. You know, they're not winning a Stanley Cup anytime soon. So that's what we have to look forward to.
Well,
but yeah,
hopefully in 2021.
Okay, quest for the butthole too. I get it, but left shot defenseman. We'll see who fucking comes out. Vakanainen, Zobel. Who's the other young kid I'm missing? Lauzon.
Jeremy Lauzon.
Looked like a stiff. And now Hutton, if they go and throw some money at him, we'll see.
But he's a good cheap veteran you want.
This is the sure. Yeah, fill a role if those kids can't. This has been the Silver Mind Sports Show Wednesday edition, December 30th. Happy New Year. We'll see you on Thursday for early lines, and then we'll see you in 2021, I think. I think that's how the date works. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.